Hi, Stan Rogers from the Rogers team, and can't wait to get started here on our Buydowns 101 webinar. We're going to run you through a little bit of an overview first, and we're going to run through an exact example of what the numbers look like so you get some good perspective of how it works, and then we'll summarize again at the end. So we'll jump right in here. I think the most important thing we want to do here is give you a little bit of context on how it can help both sellers and buyers. So from the seller's perspective, it's a unique option to attract buyers. What you've got here is a seller willing to pay the cost for this buy down, which is going to be cheaper in many cases than a price reduction for the seller, but it's going to offer a huge benefit to the buyer, especially with where rates are now. It's going to take them out of this mode of, hey, I'm not going to buy because rates are too high. We're giving them this ability to reduce the rate by 2% for year one and 1% for year two. And in that window of time, it's certainly going to open up where refinance opportunities are going to exist for them to refi out of the loan product more than likely. It's just a standard closing cost credit. There's nothing special. It's just filled in that way on the contract. And we've got lots of marketing materials that we can share with you for any listings that you may have that you'd like to present them to your seller and then hopefully offer it to any prospective buyer. From the buyer side of things, again, they're going to get a reduced interest rate for 2 years. For year one, it's 2% below the market rate. For year two, it's 1%. And then they go to the note rate for the remaining 3 through 30 years. No cost for them because, again, the seller is paying the cost. And then, again, we can refinance out anytime. Important to know, though, if they refi after just 6 months, the amount of money that was being held for the buy down will go as a principal reduction. So they don't lose any money. They get that back as a principal reduction. Some additional information, it's available for both conventional FHA, VA, seller credit limits, so you kind of have an idea. FHA will allow the buyer to receive up to 6% of the purchase price from the seller. VA, it's 4%. And then conventional loan, there's a split bracket. If the down payment is less than 10%, they can get up to 3% of the purchase price. If it's over 10%, they can get 6% of the purchase price. So there's plenty of money that's available via the guidelines to be able to do this. So let's dive into a real life example here so you get to see how the math works, okay? So let's start out here with a scenario of a $300,000 loan. We're going to use a note rate of 7%, a 30-year fixed, which will give us a principal and interest of $19.9591. Now, the amount of the loan is going to vary with every single property, of course, right? And with the down payment position. So the ultimate cost of the buy down will vary with the loan size, of course, in the interest rate, as you'll see. So let's dive into year one. We're going to start out at 5%, giving you a principal and interest of $16.1046. Now we're going to take that $16.1046 and we're going to subtract that from the $19.95 that is the note in principal and interest. So the difference there is the $385.44. There are going to be 12 payments at that reduced level for a total of $4,625 of savings. For year two, we're going to jump to 6% for the rate, $17.98 for principal and interest. Again, subtracting that from the $19.95 is going to give us $197 a month times 12 payments of $23.67. So basically, from year 3 through 30, they're going to go back to 7%. That's the $19.95. The total savings is going to be the $46.25 plus the $23.67, or $6,992. That is the amount that the seller will be funding or giving as a closing cost credit to the buyer. Okay, so it breaks down to be a lot less in some cases than even a $10,000 price reduction. And when you compare things like that, we're trying to give them an example of, if we were to do a price reduction from $300 down to a loan amount of $300 down to a loan amount of $290, a $10,000 reduction, that ultimately is going to save them $66.53 per month. Well, when we go back here and we look to what we're saving $385 a month for year one, $197 for year two. So you can see there's a much bigger savings for the buyer. You know, the premise behind this program right now is because we do know that at some point here within the next 12 to possibly 18 months on the long end, rates are going to go down. We're going to be doing refinances for these customers, pulling them out of this program even before they hit the 7% in many cases. So the $66 in savings, you know, is for the life of the loan, where this temporary buy down is giving them a lot more savings for the short period of time to bridge that gap for them while the interest rates are high. We've got lots of marketing materials available. So if you wanted to have something in your listings, you want to present it to the seller first, I'm more than happy to jump on a phone call with any seller, explain the program, the pros and cons. I mean, for you as a real estate agent, you're also getting then the higher sales price level in regards to commissions. From the seller's perspective, they may not do a full $10,000 then of price reduction. It may only cost them $7,000, and they have a buyer then that's feeling like they're much more comfortable with the current rate environment. The team's always here to help. I mean, we really appreciate you taking time out of your day for attending the webinar, and we are here to answer the questions. I mean, especially if it comes down to a seller wanting to dive in deeper. I know these things can be a bit complicated. Feel free to reach out, and we will definitely take care of you and any prospective buyers or sellers that you have. If you have any questions, we look forward to chatting with you. Thanks so much.